If I had a chance for Boogie Cousins and I'm the Lakers, I would have brought him in because I got one of the two best big men in the game, and you got guys who are young and developing, but I got somebody who I can at least build around. But, I applaud.
What makes you think you can build around Boogie Cousins?
At least I got one of the two best centers in the game, so I can start there of somebody who at least has talent. And if I surround him with, good people in the front office that he'll respect and listen to, then I got a chance there.
So it's always somebody else's fault, right?
No, it's his fault too. Absolutely. I start there with him, but it's just like when Rodman came in to the Bulls, he respected Phil and Michael, and he fell in line there. I think that there are instances where, I think Boogie Cousins has got a whole lot of talent. And if you're the Lakers, you're not going anywhere.
First of all, Boogie Cousins got a tremendous amount of talent.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the most talented big men I've ever seen. But let me tell you something, Dan, if your team never wins, you have to take some responsibility. You can't pass the buck to Sacramento Kings. You say, well, it was Sacramento. If you never make the playoffs.
Yeah, but that roster was terrible, Charles, that they've had 6 or 7 coaches. The front office is a mess.
And you don't think he had nothing to do with that?
They didn't hire a coach who he...
No. Let me ask you, the reason they kept firing coaches because he kept getting them fired. But secondly, let me ask you a question. Everybody talk about all the bad players on their team. Do you think if he was a better leader, those guys would have been better?
You don't want Boogie Cousins on your team?
I do not.
Okay.
I do not. But my question is, Dan, everybody always want to blame Sacramento and say he has nothing to play with. Do you think if he was a better leader and he treated the other teammates better, you don't think some of those young guys on that team would have at least developed in the last 6 or 7 years?
Well,
all those guys, they were all lottery picks. They can't all be bad. Do you think he made it such a toxic environment that those young guys couldn't grow up and mature?
Well, you know what? We're going to find out now that he's out of town, that these guys are going to – let's see if they develop.
Well, they won't be the same because he's a hell of a player. But I'm saying – we're going to see what the truth is with him, with Anthony Davis now. That's the big question. I've never said those guys in Sacramento were great players. But if he had been a better leader and a better teammate, they would have been better. But let me tell you something. Now he gets a chance. He's playing with Anthony Davis and Drew Holiday and some other players down there. Now we're going to get to see who fault it was for real now it gets real.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.